Hey planner friends! Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be memory planning from the 7th to the 13th of November in my medium passion planner. Let's get started! So the kit that I'm using this week is Apple Pickin from Plannerface. I do PR for Plannerface, so you can use my code in the description to save yourselves a little bit of money and also mention me for a freebie. Because last week was super stressful, I decided that I was basically going to do no pre-planning for this week. I really wasn't feeling up to it and I didn't really know how this week would pan out, so I didn't want to be putting loads of stuff down on paper that was then just going to get thrown out of the window. So the first half of this plan with me is going to be more of a memory plan, because as you'll see I basically did the pen base of my spread and put my washi headers in and did nothing else. As you can see, I'm doing my normal pen base, so I've shaded in the parts of the timeline so I'm going to be asleep, and then I've used my Grey Stabilo fine liner to split my personal and where to do checklists in half to give myself extra checklist space. I didn't put any alarm times in this week because I wasn't even sure if I was going to go to work when I started this week, and spoiler alert, I didn't. I've then marked in my meals for the week using my Pilot Friction pen, so just lunch and dinner, and then I'm highlighting over all of those meals, colouring in the daily focus boxes of days where I definitely wasn't going to be at work, and coloured in the check boxes in the bottom left hand corner. I then finished off the base of my spread with a couple of stickers, so I've used my meal plan tracker in my sidebar, which is just something that I make in Excel and print off on sticker paper myself. I've then got the squared off half box with some deco from the kit in the weekly focus box, a habit tracker and a decorative box to fill up my sidebar. I've then done my washi headers exactly the same way that I usually do, with one 15mm strip cut in half to cover my personal and work to-do list header and my space for infinite possibility header, and a 6mm strip for my extra gratitude header in the bottom left hand corner. The only thing I really pre-planned was that Friday was Remembrance Day, so I used a little thing and a bit of deco from the kit to mark that in the daily focus box. I'm then going to add in my focus for the week because this is literally all of the pre-planning that I did, and my focus was that Reggie was supposed to be coming home this week. And now we can get into some memory planning for at least the first half of the week. So zooming in and starting on Monday, the first thing I'm marking using a fancy label and a Once More with Love munchkin is that I was feeling really rubbish, so I basically took the first couple of days of this week off sick. After how stressful last week was, I really could not deal with the idea of going into the office, so I wanted to listen to my body and take a little bit of time to just slow down, kind of regroup and just get back to my normal level of functionality, I guess. So the first thing that I marked in the timeline using a little thing and the phone doodle from the kit was calling in so that work didn't expect me to be there. Next I'm using a quarter box and a gamer girl from Joy of Planning to mark in that I just played some Sims this morning. I needed a bit of escapism, I needed a break from everything, so yeah, Sims it is. And then I'm using a glitter header to just continue that Sims chunk down to about lunchtime. Quite often when I'm memory planning, a glitter header in the timeline basically just means I was still playing Sims. The big thing that happened on Monday was that we were due to pick Reggie up from the vets, so basically he wouldn't eat at the vets, so they wanted us to try him at home to see if we could get him to start eating again, and we did manage to. So I'm marking that in with a half box, some deco from the kit, and this cute little Reggie sticker from Joy of Planning. This sticker is actually a Jack Russell sticker, but obviously it just looks exactly like Reggie because he's mostly Jack Russell. Once we brought him home, I had to sort out all of his medication, so I'm using a quarter box and a Stick with the Planco medication girl to mark that in. He came home with 3 different medications which all had different schedules and different times that they needed to be given, obviously, so I was setting up alarms in my phone and also working out what would be the best times for us to give him his meds. So for the past couple of days I've just had alarms going off for every 3 to 6 hours depending on what medication is due. I'm also adding in another bit of glitter header in this section just because I couldn't get the spacing right, and I figured I'd just fill up with glitter header. For Monday evening I played some more Sims, so I'm using one of my Play Sims stickers, which is a printable from Pinky Stickers, and then I just had a bit of a YouTube binge in the evening, so I'm marking that in with a third box from the kit and some deco. Oh, also this week we're still waiting for our fridge to be replaced, so all of the meals will just get added in as and when, because we were just having to go to Tesco every night and get something for dinner, because we can't keep anything. And as someone who thrives on routine and has a meal plan every single week, this has been another serious area of stress for me. I've started off Tuesday by adding in a decorative box, so as usual I trimmed this down vertically on the sticker paper and then I've trimmed it horizontally on my planner, and then we can get into the actual memory planning for Tuesday. So I'm first marking leg day using a Pinky Stickers printable and a leg day script from Plannerface. We then had to take Reggie for a checkup to make sure that he was doing well now that he was at home, so I'm using a fancy label and this little paw print icon from Plannerface to mark that in. Reggie got the thumbs up to stay at home, so after we brought him back, I'm using a squished half box with a sticker sheet doodle and film script and Plannerface to mark in filming some more of my Plansmas videos. As you can see, I was really struggling with the spacing on some of these memory planning days just because I don't usually plan like this, and I'm using combinations of boxes between like lunch and dinner that I wouldn't usually try and do. For Tuesday evening, we just had a lazy gaming evening, so I'm using one of the squared off boxes from the kit with some deco to mark that in. I'm then going to fill in all of my plans for Monday and Tuesday using my Pilot friction pen, and we can move on to Wednesday. So for Wednesday, I'm starting off with the morning, but I'm planning it backwards to make sure that I could fit everything in. So I'm using a skinny event label with the pen pot doodle from the kit and an edit script and Plannerface to mark in doing some editing. And then I'm using one of my Pinky Stickers printables to mark in a yoga class in the morning. I tried to get on the one at the gym, but again, I was just stuck on the wait list. To finish off Wednesday morning, I'm using a quarter box with some deco from the kit to mark in, you guessed it, playing some Sims first thing. While I was checking the waitlist to see if I'd got onto this yoga class in the morning, I did actually remember to book onto yoga next Wednesday evening, so I will be going to yoga at the gym for the first time in months. You've just got to be so speedy with getting onto these yoga classes. Like, I was originally on the waitlist for this one, and it's only because people have dropped out already that I've managed to get on the class. For Wednesday afternoon, I knew I wasn't really going to be doing much, so I'm filling in all of that space with the decorative box from the kit, which again I am trimming horizontally so it fits nicely within the timelines. On Wednesday evening, I tried a little bit of retail therapy to make myself feel better, so I'm using a fancy label from the kit and a shopping bag doodle which is left over from an old Plannerface monthly kit to mark that in. I say retail therapy, but it was actually just me buying things online that I'd been putting off for a while, like protein powder before I run out. The rest of Wednesday was just a lazy evening, so I'm using a quarter box with some deco from the kit and a lazy evening script from Plannerface to mark that in. Also on Wednesday evening, I was umming and ahhing about whether I wanted to work from home the next day and try going back to work, but ultimately I decided not to because I was still getting really overwhelmed at the idea of having to log back on. But my manager has been really amazing this week, and she was just like, see how you feel about working from home on Friday instead. So flipping over to the second half of the week, I'm first adding a decorative box in on Thursday morning, and then I'm marking in my second training session of the week using another Pinky Stickers printable and a push day script from Plannerface. Next I'm using a quarter box and some deco from the kit again to mark out a chunk of time for some gaming in the afternoon, and then I'm using a little thing and a smoothie shaker doodle from Plannerface to mark in that I've entered another weightlifting competition for the beginning of 2023, even though my first one is still 4 weeks away. For Thursday evening, I'm using a bin doodle to mark in a reminder to take the bins out, and then I played some more Sims, what a surprise, and I'm also using an event label with a bathtub doodle from Plannerface to mark in that I had a nice soak this evening. I did calf raises on my leg day on Tuesday for the first time in like forever pretty much, so I had the worst soreness in my calves for like 5 days this week. It's Saturday now, I did that workout on Tuesday and they are just about feeling okay again. I feel like the long soak in the bath definitely helped though. On Friday morning, I woke up and decided that I was going to try and work from home this day, so I'm marking in my breakfast and then highlighting over that, and then from here on we're going to be doing some pre-planning. So I'm marking in my work hours using the fine liner side of my passion marker, and then I'm adding in the other half of that scene into the beginning of Friday morning. Because I already had Remembrance Day marked in the daily focus box, I'm marking in that I was going to be working from home on Friday using a glitter header and a work from home script and Plannerface at the end of the afternoon. I'm then going to grab my passion marker again to add my 2 dots for the top 2 things that I get done at work on Friday, one of which was just going through my email inbox, which was super full. Friday was also my cousin's birthday, and I'm not sure why I didn't add this in the pre-planning. Maybe it's just because I was only thinking about adding Remembrance Day in on that day, but I'm using a skinny event label and the balloon doodle from the kit to mark that in at the end of the day. Moving on to Saturday, I'm marking in my planning time in the same way that I used to do because there's no team training this day, so I'm using a third box with an edit script from Plannerface and some deco from the kit, and then I'm using one of the flags with the planner doodle from the kit and a planning script also from Plannerface to mark in some planning time in the morning. Although I am actually doing this the other way around as I've been doing for the past couple of weeks because I'm recording my voiceover first thing. I'm then adding in my weight session for the day using a Pinky Stickers printable and a pull day script from Plannerface, and then I'm going to add in my usual half box on Saturday evening for whatever we get up to. I'm hoping this is just going to be another chill one because I'm pretty tired after this week, even though I wasn't at work, and I'm just using a Stick with the Planco Girl to decorate that box. Moving on to Sunday, I'm using a 3-hut checklist to mark out my usual chunk of time for doing some cleaning in the morning, and I'm decorating that with the vacuum doodle from the kit. And then I'm marking and uploading this video using a piece of the Monday to Sunday box that I've cut up with a YouTube button icon from Pickin Co and an upload script from Plannerface. And then I'm adding in my last workout of the week, again using a Pinky Stickers printable. I can then fill in that tiny little bit of pre-planning as usual using my Pilot Friction pen. So that is pretty much it for my tiny little bit of pre-planning at the end of the week. Let's take a look at the finished spread. So here's the spread all filled out, and I really like this one. I do like memory planning, I just really need my pre-planning when I have like a full busy week. But it is really nice to take the pressure off and have the option to just pop in what actually happened rather than trying to plan out my week. Although this week has still been a little bit stressful, I am so happy to have Reggie home and to know that he is definitely on the mend. So that's everything for this video, friends. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!